Hi everyone, it's Tuesday, time for another Tips and Tools Tuesday here at Designs by Donna. Today I'd like to share with you a little story about mistakes. We all make mistakes, don't we? I know I do. It's what we do after we make a mistake that either turns that mistake into a success or a failure. And I'd like to share with you a mistake that I made. It's been several years ago now, but I realized that my first cut was right and all the others were wrong. I was making 2.5 width panels, 210 inches finished length. I had to make a special mark on my table because my cuts were longer than my table. And after that, making that first cut, every other cut that I made, I used that special mark on my table rather than pulling it down the table a second time. Oh my gosh, I realized there was nothing I was going to be able to do to salvage that fabric because they were just straight, long panels. They were tied back, but still there was no way to make up and be able to use that fabric again. So here's what I did. The first thing I did was I took a deep breath, a nice, long, cleansing breath. That made me feel better right there. The second thing that I did is I said, Donna, this is where you are, and this is what you need to do. So I just assessed the situation. It was 5:30 in the evening, and I thought, what is the chance of my vendor even still being open? But I went ahead and called. They answered the phone. Wow, I was finding joy. I was so excited. The next thing that I did is I asked them, I had already recalculated exactly how much fabric I would need if they had the right dye lot. I asked if they had enough fabric, did they have the right dye lot, and they said that they would check and call me back. Well, I can't tell you how much more joy I was feeling when they called me back and they said the fabric was the same dye lot and they had enough. My next question was, can you get this in the next day air? Can you send it out tonight so that I have it tomorrow morning by 10 o'clock? You see, I had cut my deadline a little bit too quick. I try not to have my deadlines that tight, but it was the holidays. So I was really working under some tight deadlines. They were able to get the fabric out that night. Joy! This was costing me a lot of money and I knew that, but I was able to find joy because everything was happening in my favor. The fabric did arrive the next day. I was able to complete the panels. They were installed on time. The client never knew. It wasn't her problem, it was my problem. As I said, this was a very costly mistake. But you know, it's just money. It's not life or death. And as I look back on this mistake, because I was able to complete it and get everything in on time, and I felt that I really handled this right, I don't feel bad about the money that I lost. Yeah, it hurt. It hurt the bank account really bad. But I was even able to go home and tell my husband that night, you're not going to believe what just happened to me. And I was telling him everything that happened that was right. I wasn't focusing on my mistake, but rather I was focusing on the positive. So that brought me joy. The tagline for my business is creating joy out of passion. So I turned this mistake into a success in my mind because I was still able to bring joy to my client and bring beauty into her home with her new window treatments, and she was ecstatic. I was happy. So I want you to think about your mistakes. The first thing I'd like you to do is breathe and really assess the situation and try and turn it into a positive. turn it into a learning opportunity for yourself. That's my tip for you today. I hope that you're having a great day. If you like this video, I sure hope that you'll share it and like it. Tell me about some mistakes or some times in your life when you felt that it was a mistake but you were able to turn it into a positive. Love to hear from you. Take care, God bless, and I hope your day is filled with joy. Bye now.